Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Greetings from the United Kingdom. This video is going to be in 3 parts. I'm going to talk about me. I am going to talk about Mr. Kunt-Bimbo, Jimbo, and a counter reply to what he has said. Okay, so let's go back to my office. Yeah. Right, so Bimbo, without the blonde, if you get what I mean, he's saying, where is this dude from? Where does he come from? What is his accent from? So I'm going to explain that today, funny enough. Not just for him, but for my audience, fuck it. Okay? But I will start from almost the beginning, right? So, let me show you here. That's me, right? In the year 2000, right? That's my British passport, or expired British passport, right? So at that time, look at that, how skinny I was, right? At that time I was 34. I was born in 1966, right? You want to call me a boomer? Fuck it, yeah. I'm 57 right now. In December I will be 58. Okay, so that I don't give a shit. That's fine, right? I look handsomer than you. Put it that way, if that is a word, right? So I was born in the UK, obviously, right? But I was raised in the Canary Islands, Spain. My father, that is already dead, he is Spanish, or he was Spanish. My mother was British. Is British. She's still alive. Okay, so at the age of 1, when I was born here in London, right, we moved to the Canary Islands, to my father's family side. Okay, and we stayed there until I was at the age of 17. And the reason I left the country, or the island, it was only one single reason, and that's an irony. This is a true story, right? A Spanish kid, when he's raised, a foreign kid that is raised in Spain is considered to be belonging to the island or to the country, right? Is Spanish for intended purposes. But when you reach a certain age, 18, you need to be drafted, right? It's compulsory, the military over Spain, or at least at that time, right? So what happened is I said, no, fuck it. I am British, but I did not know a fucking word at that time when I was a kid. I'm talking about 17, 18-ish. Right? Literally almost zero. The only English I knew is from the Spanish school, and that was shit in itself. So put it away. Right? So hence my accent. Right? My accent is a derivative from Spain, right? And I don't speak like the Iberians. I speak more like South American people, right? Because they speak like us in the Canary Islands, almost very similar, right? So at the age of 18, my father receives a letter from the Spanish military saying that your kid, me, needed to be recruited for national service. So my father said, okay, here are the papers. I go, no, fuck it. Well, no, you know what I mean? I said, no, I'm British. Yeah. Proud of whatever the fucking heritage was. Right? So I said, no, okay. He respected that because my mother was supportive of me. But the problem with that is that from that moment on, when I did not accept going to the Spanish military, right, they stamped my passport, or the relative authorities, and they gave me a 6-month visa. From there on, I was a tourist, having been raised there since almost the age of 1.5-ish. Okay, so fuck it, I left. So I came here to England, right, and I came to live with my English British grandmother, right, and I could hardly understand her, right. I could speak, but choppy, right? And what happened is that she did not want me to deviate, i.e. going to, shall we call it, the dark side, drugs, this and that, whatever, right? And I never ever taken anything. Yeah. So, yeah. So she recommended me, right, to go onto something here in the UK called TA, which is the Territorial Army, right? I don't know what the guy you guys calls in the reserves in the United States, right? So basically, it's not like a full military, but with all the equipment and everything that the British Army has. Okay, I've used many things, right? I'm not going to go into that, right? So, well, let me take that off. But now you get the point. Passport out, right? So I said, okay, let's do it, right? So in those days, you used to write letters and you get brochures of the different regiments, right? And that was an irony. You know why? Because I joined this regiment, the Royal Green Jacket. The irony is that I left the Canary Islands not to become a Spanish citizen and do their national service, but I ended by going into the British Army or TA Reserve, right? Obviously as a part-time, right? So I did. It was wicked. It was wicked, right? Because it was a part-time, yeah, my main profession at that time, I was a London bus driver. Okay, I used to drive the double deckers, right? So I was there for what, 9 years as a bus driver, give or take, if not more, right? So I was in the British Army, and I joined a specific team, which is the shooting team, right? And this is the photo of me. Bang. Okay, so the guy, let me put my photo just to give you an idea, right? The guy above it, yeah, is me, right on top of me. That's me, the one at the top, right? Top left. So let me take my passport picture off. Where are we? Passport off. Okay, so that's my entire shooting team, and if you can see there, the commanding officer with some of the trophies, yeah, some of them are mine too. Yeah, I used to fire that machine gun. It used to be called GMP, General Purpose Machine Gun. Okay, so with that, let me show you another photo of mine. Right, let me take this one off. Right, this is a selected team, which is I'm here. This is me here, right? Just change location, right? That was a special team for shooting, right? Longer targets, different category of shooting, right? But we were 6 of us, right? Call it the elite shooting team for all intents and purposes. Okay, so I was there for what? 7 years, more or less. 7 years there, right? And I loved it. Yeah, I was driving that Land Rover, yeah, with our trailer with the munitions or weapons or whatever. Okay, so we always drive one trailer with the rifles or machine guns, and the other Land Rover with the rounds. Okay, so it was never mixed. Okay, so that is that. Yeah, so that's me growing up here in the UK. Okay, now as a shall we call it an adult? Yeah, as an adult, that is me. Okay, I'm on my 40s there, give or take. 42. Right, so if you can see there, in my windshield, I've got the badge here, right, the Royal Green Jacket badge, and I used to do something, shall we say, weirdly special, and to just show you, right, I'm going to show you this photo, right, that's my motorcycle there, right? And that here you drive on the left. Okay, so vehicles were supposed to be going that way, that direction. Okay, so I'm facing the contraflow. Okay, the opposite direction. So in other words, I'm stopping the traffic. Right, I'm stopping the traffic for vehicles to go onto the other side as to avoid the fire. Okay, and I was waiting there until my colleagues, fire brigade, turned up. Once they turned up, right, and they blocked the vehicle of fire, I just went away. Okay, that was fun, shall we say. Okay, now that's all about me. Okay, so I hope that answers Mr. Kunt-Bimbo question, because he should have asked me. Okay, I got nothing to hide. Okay, so right now let's go to Mr. Bimbo's video about me. But so this is the second phase of the video, of my video, right? So this one, he talks throughout of my video. Fine, I respect that, right? Although he's full of shit, right? I respect that, but I'm gonna depict his main argument, which obviously is straw manning. That's his speciality, right? But he makes a fatal error. Fatal error, right? And I'm going to prove him wrong with absolute certainty. And I'm going to use his religion against him. Okay, and that will be the third part. So please bear with me and see this clown in action. Okay, I will. It is about 5 minutes long of his half an hour rant, right? But I tried to compress it to the main point. Okay, so please enjoy his stupidity.
Yeah, you're such a loser.
I'm a loser. I've got my own. I live in my own house. Yeah, I'm. Next year I will finish paying my mortgage. Right. I am right now 57 years of age. 57. If I'm a boomer, fine. Fuck it. I take it. Right. December will be 58. Right. So I don't give a shit. Literally, I don't give a shit. I'm way sexier than that bitch. No pun intended.
I'm trying to use more like high school, early 90s insults.
Right. When I talked in my video about the triangle, I was trying to lower the bar. Right. I was being a little bit sarcastic. Yeah. And I was talking about the tire as an example of people trying to invent the best way of how to arrive at the tire, at the circumference, right, as a circle, right? I went extremely simplistic, because to push the boundary of knowledge and going forward for improvement using the scientific method will be the type of tire, the type of tire meaning thread, surface tension, all sorts of things about the tire. Okay, now you can improve that. You can have you have tire for aircraft, for big machinery, for vehicles, for my motorcycle, right? And it depends on the weather conditions or the type of surface that there is a tire for that. So we have advanced, and that's the whole point I was getting at the beginning: how to advance to better ourselves or the equipment that we may use, such as headphones, right, or mics, right? I got a Yeti mic. I used to have a shitty lapel mic, right? And due to technology, the mic system has improved quite a hell of a lot, to the point that I can speak probably not very well, but you definitely get my message. Okay, so let's see what this dude has got to say. Okay, that's the
Such a loser.
principle behind it. You learn by experience. You adopt some models from your previous time, right? And you apply it to the present.
Oh, is that the scientific method?
Yeah, that's part of it. Okay, it's actually part of it. If you make the mistakes, even if if you know where you're going, For example, I'm going to give you another analogy, right? Just to lower the bar again. A swimmer, right? And I don't know if you can swim or not, whatever. But if you start swimming, right, and you're not fast enough, you may be doing something wrong, right? So you got a trainer next to you, say, listen, Bimbo, you can do X, Y, Z and improve your strokes. And for that reason, you can be faster. You improve, right? And you don't say, oh, but it could be, the model could be wrong. You understand this level of stupidity what this guy is saying, right? As I said previously in my video, this guy tries to be absolutely dishonest charlatan, right? And we cannot work with human beings of this caliber, right? Because it's like talking to a wall, right? But anyway, let's carry on. Move forward.
What if the model itself is the thing in question?
You see, it's trying to be argumentative. If the model is wrong, you're not moving forward. It's a failure in the model. Once the model is correct, and you say why you're correct, well, fucking make the experiment, right? If your model of swimming, you're swimming like this, like a pussycat, yeah, you're not going anywhere. So your trainer will say, Bimbo, do larger strokes, right? And you get somewhere. And you're not going to say to him, as I said before, and I apologize for repeating, you're not going to say, oh, could the model be wrong? The trainer's going to fucking smack you in the head for being so obtuse, right? But here, he's specializing on presuppositional apologetics. So it's basically dishonest by design, right? Basically argumentative, right? And it's not moving forward. It's like hitting a fucking wall. Oh, by the way, I would like to have, in a nice way, in a ring, a couple of rounds with you, if I may. That would be really interesting. Anyway, so I was saying, you're not being fucking you don't contradict yourself when you want to achieve a particular purpose. That's the point I was getting at here is he says, oh, but what the model? That means he's not thinking forward. He's trying to stop himself or stop the interlocutor, right? In this case, it would have been, for example, myself. Oh, what if this? What if that? He's not a team player. He's absolutely not a team player. He's extremely arrogant. Way extremely arrogant.
That's the funny irony. Science doesn't give us purpose.
Idiot. We search for a purpose, right? Let me give you the analogy of the swimmer, okay? Just for your thick brain, right? You may have a purpose. You feel you're going to be a swimmer because you didn't understand about the fucking tire, okay? Because obviously you're thick, right? So the swimmer, you are the swimmer. If you think that you're not achieving the required speed, or you want to, or simply you want to improve, right? You look for somebody that's got the skill set, i.e., the people that have done the research, the studies, the mechanics behind it, right? To make you improve, right? But if you're going to challenge the people that are going to help you, you are not going to go forward. And I'm repeating myself because you are so fucking thick.
You big dumb loser.
Okay, I'm a loser. This is my house. I'm not such a loser. Right? I got an extremely good job. I'm on the top of my game. Right? I do shall we say, an elite job within my industry. Right? I'm fully qualified what I do. I cannot tell you what I do exactly. Right? But I got zero complaints of what I'm doing. And I'm proud of it. Right? But you, Mr. Clown, right? You live out of this, most probably. Yeah? For me, this is hobby. I love taking the piss out of Christian apologetics. Because you guys contradict each other by design. Yeah, always somebody says something here, and 2 weeks later somebody says the opposite about the same subject. Like, for example, young Earth creation. with old age creationists, right? You're talking about creation, but they are opposite side. And you, and in the video that I was addressing AJ, he asked you, what are you, young earth creationer or old earth creationer? And you did not have the fucking balls. You did not have the fucking balls to say either I'm an old age creationer or young earth creationer. Right? You know why? Because you are a coward. Right? You sit behind your keyboard warrior avatars thinking like you're a shit-hot person. But at the end of the day, you're a clown. You are a certified clown. You just need your fucking red popping in the fucking nose and you're golden. You're ready to go. You're ready to roll because you do an excellent job as a clown.
About appealing to science is that it's actually valuable.
Appealing to science. What the fuck are you going to appeal to? Religion?
Nope.
Well, if you say no, right, what are you going to use? Or are you going to fucking guess? Right? If you're not going to use a scientific method to establish or use the tools of the scientific method to arrive at a conclusion, they could be wrong, but they still arrive, right? But you choose the path of ignorance. Or worse, cognitive dissonance. You know that you're wrong, but you won't admit it, which is slightly worse. And that what's the age of the fucking earth or the universe?
No, not necessarily, but I mean,
you see, I mean, he hasn't got the fucking balls. He hasn't got no model. Yeah, he's just an argumentative person, right? With zero fucking knowledge. He's like the pure image of two evangelists, two charlatans, Kent Hovind and Daft Dawkins. He's a mixture of those two. Probably those two are their parents, and I'm talking about two males, so you can imagine, right? That's the offspring of Kent Hovind and Daft Dawkins. Can you imagine that? Absolutely fucking nasty. That's the common denominator of those two.
We're talking about natural science, right?
Right. So I put there natural science, right? And then I'm going to say something, I'm going to swear at the guy, and he's going to start laughing. But I'm going to leave that sign throughout so you guys can read it. You piece of shit. Well, you are, but anyway. Right, so natural... Yeah, go on. Happy days.
Where is that? Where is it? I gotta find it. 55:17.
You see, he's doing exactly the same as AJ. He's not even focusing on what I'm saying, even if I'm insulting him, right? He's not saying, "Oh, you know what? I want to be a good Christian," and I put the other cheek. He doesn't know what the fuck other cheek is, right? So it was done sort of intentionally to provoke him to see if he's a good Christian. And he's not a good Christian, because I wanted to trigger him to be polite even on the face of adversity. Even of me, I'm intentionally triggering this scumbag, right? I mean, I'm actually doing it now, and he's not capable. You know what? Brother Oscar, or whatever the fuck he's going to say, right? I forgive you. There you are, the other cheek. Bang. Bang. Nah. He's a con artist. Okay, he's a fake, phony, and a fraud Christian. I'm actually demonstrating it here. Watch.
You piece of shit. I have to. You know what I'm gonna do? It's like I'm gonna collect base.
Remember, he's not thinking as a Christian. Yeah, remember, he's not thinking as a Christian. He's intentionally trying to set up something to make fun of somebody else, which I don't care. Really, I don't care. But I'm trying to depict the malice behind this scumbag.
Basically like memorabilia, right? So every time they have an insult, I'm going to isolate their insult, and then I'm going to put it on the stream, the audio board.
No, are you going to do that? So instead of turning your cheek, you're going to provoke. Hold on. Well done, Christian. or so-called fucking Christian.
Soundboard. So, you know, by the next stream, we'll have this guy on a push button stream deck.
What, do I have to feel nice about that? Oh, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Thank you very much. I'm going to be part of your system. Whatever the fuck that means.
Whenever I want. I mean, he's got a good delivery, though. You gotta.
Delivery. When I was shooting bullets down the range, I had a fucking excellent delivery.
Give him credit.
To achieve a particular purpose.
Listen to it. It's pretty. The funny irony about appealing to science is that it's actually valid.
Well, appealing to science. What the fuck are you gonna appeal to? Religion? To find out what's the age of the fucking earth or the...
You can't appeal to science for the age of the earth, dummy.
Right. I got him here. Right. I got him here. I managed to get what I wanted. And I was actually triggered for him to fucking say that. Right? Because he just fucked up here. Right? So once I heard this, right? Oh, by the way, I'm not subscribed to him. Somebody else is subscribed. We are mutually subscribed, right? Send me a message that he made this stream, right? So I checked it up. Excuse me, right? So I'm going to leave that there because in a minute I'm going to change to the third part of this video, right? And it's equally long to this one, but straight to the point.
You can't appeal to science. It's completely impossible. You can't do the scientific method to determine the age of the Earth or the universe.
Remember that, yeah? Remember that. Please, 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 please remember that. Because I'm going to shut his mouth up.
The space-time theorems prove there...
Right. Dr. Hugh Ross, right? He's a astrologist, okay? And he's an old age creationist. So basically he's one of the real scientists that try to amalgamate the old with the creation event. Okay? Now, let's go. So I finished with Bimbo. Yeah, Kunt-Bimbo.
Must be an agent beyond space and time that created everything. Now, they do struggle with a personal God, but they accept that such a causal agent exists. However, if you ask them, do you believe in God? They'll say, no, I don't believe in God, but I do believe in an agent beyond space and time that created everything. That's pretty close to a dictionary definition. But these are the three things I'm going to review for you for the rest of this evening, which I think are the three most critical factors about the first page of the Bible. Number one is the frame of reference or the point of view for these creation days. We're going to begin there, then we're going to talk...
By the way, we're not going to see the whole video, obviously. This is just an excerpt of what I need to debunk Jimbo.
About the meaning of the Hebrew word for day that's used in Genesis 1, but we'll spend most of our time looking at the description of the creation events, and in particular, the chronology, the history in which they're laid out, and then how we can put this to an increasingly definitive scientific test.
Say what? You're going to put it to a scientific test? Shut the fuck up. Are you, Dr. Hugh Ross, Mr. Kunt-Bimbo is far more intelligent than you. How dare you going to use a scientific principle on the Genesis account? How dare you? Are you going to use a natural science for that? No, don't be silly. You're going to make Bimbo upset. He's going to feel bad about another Christian with a fucking PhD think that is above Bimbo. Come on. Don't do that, Mr. Hugh Ross.
And some of these scientific tests were done just a few years ago. Basically making the point, the more we learn about science...
Say what? The more we learn about science? You don't say. Bimbo? Bimbo, Mr. Hugh Ross is talking out of his ass. No, a Christian is saying something about science. Ooh.
The stronger case we get for the inerrancy and inspiration of what we call the Bible.
Really? So the more science you have, the better the inerrancy of the Bible. Interesting. You should talk to fucking Bimbo.
Okay, Genesis 1:1, the frame of reference or the point of view is the universe.
Right, outside.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Yes, I'm going with that because I'm going by what the text says, not the factual, but yes. That's what the text says, yes.
But as soon as you get to the second sentence, it changes the frame of reference. It says the Spirit of God is hovering over the surface of the water.
That's why I put this natural science, right? Because Bimbo was trying to use the natural, the earth, as a scientific side of it, right? So that's why I put that again.
Of planet Earth. That's crucial. A point of view does not remain the universe. It gets changed from the universe to the surface of the earth.
Okay, so the point of view is from somebody looking at it on Earth. If he's at that time would have been water, but okay, so he's in a canoe.
Now I keep running into scientists who tell me Genesis 1 teaches scientific nonsense.
Yes, it does.
If you think that the frame of reference for the 6 creation days is God above the earth looking down on the earth, they are correct. Everything taught in the 6 days of creation is wrong. It's scientific nonsense. But if you put the frame of reference on the surface of the earth, everything is correct.
I agree in the sense of the reference point. I agree. But what you just done is shrink your imaginary friend, God, to a human volume. Okay, so the guy is so big because you have to be bigger than the universe, right? To make that type of volume of like that mass, you have to be big, right? And all of a sudden, you are like Ant-Man, right? That you reduce yourself like a fucking piece of thing like that. Is okay? Let me talk about the sea or the surface of the earth being void or whatever.
With respect to established science. So just remember that. When people say it teaches scientific nonsense, ask them, well, from what frame of reference are you interpreting the days of creation? Now, it's not just Genesis 1, because step 1, and by the way, I was taught the scientific method.
I'm going to leave that throughout the video. He was taught the scientific method.
In my Canadian public school education in grade 1.
Fine.
I was taught it again in grade 2, grade 3.
Fine.
We got it all 12 years.
Excellent.
I didn't pick up a Bible until I was 17, but by then I'd been saturated in the scientific method. My Canadian school teacher said, whether it's history, geography, science, literature, it doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter what field you are in. Okay, so what's going to happen?
You do all of your analysis following the scientific method.
You don't say. So everything you in the world, in the natural world, whatever specialization or whatever investigation you want to do, you have to use a scientific method. Can you say that again, please?
So I came to the text following the scientific method.
That's twice you said that.
Step 1 of the scientific method.
Again, the scientific method. In less than 30 seconds, you say it 3 times.
Do not interpret until you first establish the point of view or the frame of reference. And
fine. Which my example was Bimbo not be able to swim properly, and then that's the starting point or the reference point. Yeah, or the triangle on the tire is they said no, that doesn't work. Let's put more sides until you got a full circle. That was a silly analogy, but I said that on purpose, right? To make a drastic change between a triangle to a circle. Yeah, so it's smooth. Yeah, and then from a triangle, from a in the old days, the drawn carrots they were made out of wood. Then they put steel, a rim of steel on inside of it, outside of it, yeah, and then they made rubber. Blah 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 blah. Okay, they move forward, which is this is the whole point about this video, right? Debunking this piece of shit, Bimbo, right? That he says no, the scientific method is impossible to arrive at the edge of the earth of the universe, when this guy, right, Hugh Ross, is absolutely, for lack of a better word, debunking this twat of a Bimbo, right, by saying we have to use the scientific method for everything in the natural world. That's the whole point of my video here.
It was Galileo who said the biggest mistake you can make in Bible interpretation is to get the wrong point of view. So that's step one. Step two, do not interpret until you first establish the starting conditions or the initial conditions.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of my video, right? Part one was about me, because Bimbo was saying on the previous video, what is this guy all about? So I took it upon myself to give as much information I could, right? I answered that. Even on his video's comment, he had some minions. Oh, what this, what that? I mean, really fucking minions, right? And the second part was listening to what Bimbo was saying, right? And then debunking Bimbo with Mr. Hugh Ross. So I hope you liked it. Bimbo, I don't think I'm going to reply again, because you are thick as wood, right? You're not worthy of my attention, to be quite honest, okay? Because you're dishonest, or intellectually dishonest. Well, I cannot use intellectually dishonest because you dumb fuck, right? You are a fake, phony, and a fraud, because you don't follow your own Christianity. I turned the other cheek, and I did that intentionally to provoke you, right? I know that that's where you are fake and a phony, okay? You are a disgusting human being. Yeah, you're extremely narcissistic, right? I think you came from Darth's side of it, right? Seriously, he's the father of you, okay? And what else? That's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. And I sorry for the lengthy video, but I had to put I had to explain it correctly, even if my accent is not 100%. I think you get my shit. Yeah, I think you get my point. Okay, so please, ladies and gentlemen, have a nice one, and thank you for listening.